about how more and more high school seniors are having to choose colleges based on their dietary needs. And there was an article published recently, very recently, in Food Management magazine called Thinking Outside the Bread Box. I'll link this article in the show notes. And it brought up this new reality that high school seniors are now forced to choose colleges where they can safely eat. And more kind of industries are finding that it's very important to be able to accommodate people with celiac disease and gluten intolerance because this market is just growing exponentially. Anytime anyone with celiac or a food allergy or intolerance can't make their own foods, it kind of brings a certain level of anxiety and fear in that person, and you have to have a lot of trust and confidence in the person making your foods and the ingredients being used, that everything is going to be okay and not make you sick. This article cites University of California, Berkeley as being kind of the top of its game for celiac disease and gluten intolerance, and they are working on kind of regular combinations to share with their food allergic, sensitive, and intolerant and celiac students, so they kind of keep the newest thing they put on their menu at the top of the list, so people with these intolerances can easily find what they can eat. And this is kind of a quote from it. It says, "I just met today with a student, we'll call him Stephen, who transferred here from, we'll call it University X, specifically because of his diet concerns. Management at X University, where Stephen transferred from, had made an effort to provide a special celiac diabetes diet for Stephen, but in practice the staff on the front lines sometimes wouldn't know what Stephen was talking about when he had questions about menu items. That day-to-day communication and feeling cared for is a big deal for anyone who lives with food sensitivities." Also at UC Berkeley, they have 3 cafeterias, I believe, with the menus changing every 2 weeks. But at every single restaurant, they have 2 gluten-free options that are always available. So if you don't like anything they're serving that day, they can always make you a stir fry and some kind of rice dish, like a spaghetti, meatballs, rice kind of thing. And that's huge, especially when you don't want something that's offered, that you do have something that you like and you can always have access to. Gluten-free resource education awareness training, which is short GREAT, through the National Foundation for Celiac Awareness, is a service that's helping these colleges develop safe menus for their students. They worked at UC Berkeley to help them kind of set up what the program they're doing right now. They discuss kind of clear labeling, that everything in the cafeteria and any kind of market around campus needs to be labeled not only gluten-free, but nut-free, dairy-free, and that forces people in the food industry at the campus to really understand how to read labels, trust the manufacturers that they're buying from. Also, it talks about having a separate place for gluten-free food preparation, which is huge, and it talks about sources of hidden gluten and perils of cross-contamination. There was also an article published recently in USA Today about gluten-free dining at colleges, so this is definitely something that's coming to the forefront as we speak. And as for me, this change I feel like needs to happen immediately. This is not something that we need to sit around and hope changes soon. It's like most of you know I'm very, very passionate about getting a gluten-free lunch program into our public schools. And this is the same, that I was reading in a medical journal that children, I shouldn't say children, but high school students with undiagnosed celiac are 4 times less likely to get into college or even apply to college. That's a huge statistic. So now that these students are now being diagnosed and have, statistically will get into college and go to college, now they're faced with kind of a whole other challenge. And I went to Vanderbilt, and I heard recently about a girl dropping out of Vanderbilt who has celiac, and she just couldn't handle it. She basically was either starving or getting sick from cross-contamination. And I love my alma mater. I had the best time at Vanderbilt. But this is, it's something that every college needs to look into. Every college needs to be able to cater to any kind of need of their students. And it's just, there's no reason for students not to be able to pick a college based on their academic merits instead of their dietary needs. It's just kind of absurd to me at this point. So get out there, talk to your colleges. If you are a college student and you are kind of pushing for a gluten-free community on your campus or helping to get colleges educated, please email me, tinsley@celiac.com. I would love to know what you're doing. I would love to get involved in any way I can. I just think this is something that needs to change very soon. So thanks so much for watching. I hope everyone's doing well out there. As always, it's from have not to have and gluten-free dining.